Hey guys, how you doing? Make sure my volume's up. So, how are ya? So, welcome to Short Stories with Monica. How you guys doing? So, it's Thursday, we're almost at the weekend. So, you guys ready for the weekend? It's almost weekend time. Tomorrow's Friday. Hi Bonnie, how are you, honey? So I just wanted to let's take a moment to get a couple people in before I start my lovely little story. I hope you like it. So, hi, Bonnie. I need to figure out how to do this. Hang on. How do I move this? There we go. Hey, Arlene, how are you guys? I need my glasses so I can read. Hi, Lucy. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Stephanie. Hello, Bonnie. Let's see here. I think I can do that. Let me see if I do this. There we go. Hi, Joyce. How are you, sweetheart? Hi, Bunny. How you doing, honey? Long time, darling. Let's see where we all are. How you guys doing? Okay. Hi, Donna. Hey, Pamela. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Lucy. How are you guys doing? So, thanks for chiming in on my short stories for Thursday nights. I think it's kind of fun, you know. I mentioned before that I like to do these short stories because I like to always kind of give people an understanding of mediumship because, you know, sometimes people have a misunderstanding of it or they don't quite understand it or they're not quite sure what comes about. You know, every mediumship session is different, but it's always so filled with love. And so um, I love um, I love being a medium and I love creating these readings for my clients. And so I thought it'd be fun to just kind of share different stories. And so I think about ones that I've done that I think might be very touching to some of you. So that is what we're doing here tonight. Let me just see here. Hi, Gia. Hi, Paula. Hello, Miss Pam. Hey there, Joyce. Hi, Vicki. Good evening, Kathy. Tracy. Hi, honey. Hi, Carrie. How are you guys? Okay, so we have a nice story tonight. It's called "How We." Oh, I'm not going to tell you that part. That'll give it away. um, so I titled this story "Loving Help from Heaven." And I think once you hear the story, you'll understand it. Hi, Veronica. So you'll understand a little bit. And before I get going, some of you guys that are on here, I don't know if any of you guys are just really quickly, if you guys are involved in any of my three small group readings that I have this weekend, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. All of the links for the Zoom links have been sent out. So if you have not received them, please check your inbox. If you don't see it in your inbox, please check your junk folder. But I did send them all out, so everybody should have them. Hi, Kat. How are you, sweetheart? Um, so just know that I sent them all out. Okay. So if you guys are watching and on the replay, or if you guys are on right now, please know they were sent out. So please look in your junk folder if you don't see it in your inbox. Okay. So I hope you guys had a good day today. I went on and did some errands a little bit today, and boy, I got sidetracked in all different directions here. I ended up on toll roads, and I don't know. I went all through Orange County I didn't even know existed. So, oh my God, thank goodness for Waze. I tell you, I don't know how I would have gotten home. I don't know these back roads and these tolls. I tell you, I was lost. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Kathy. How are you, honey? You're coming on my small group. I know you're going to be there. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Karina. Hi, you guys. Kat, sad because my aunt is very sick, but happy to be here. Wonderful. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your aunt, Kat. Are you helping take care of her? Um, She's not feeling so good, huh? We'll hope she gets better. We'll send her out some love. Hope she feels better. Okay, so we're gonna do my short story. Okay, so this story is a reading that I did when this was a man and a woman that came to me. They phoned me and wanted to come in person to see me. They lived out of state and they wanted to come in person. And so they came out for the weekend in Orange County and they came to my Orange County office. Hi, Sally. How are you, sweetheart? I want to just make sure everyone, looks like a couple people are still chiming in. So let's just kind of wait another second before I get going. Um, Veronica, Edgar would have made sure you made it home. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. He was actually, the guys were actually talking to me as I was coming over here. I'll tell you this kind of really cute thing. I was driving over here just as coming here to kind of do this. And they gave me this drop, and they said, when there's clusters of clouds, you will always find an impression of a heart if you look for it. So if you put your thought out to see a shape of a heart in the clusters of clouds, that you will find the shape of a heart. And I thought, that's a weird thing to kind of get as I'm driving to my office, right? But I'm like, okay, I always take it, right? And sure enough, I'm driving and there's clusters of clouds and they're all over. And I'm looking and I'm kind of looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. And then behold, there's a heart shaped cloud in between this little space. And I thought, well, isn't that fun? I really loved that. And I think really what the lesson was that they were giving me, and I'm sharing with you guys, is that when we put focus and thought towards something, we can materialize it. So if our thought is towards love, we can receive it, you see. If you want to look and see a heart, you will find it if you put your thought and your attention and your focus to it. So it's this little kind of download, because they're always in my ear. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of cute. So that just happened on the way over here. So I was just like, oh, okay. And sure enough, there was a heart-shaped cloud up above. I had to look a second. It took me a minute. I had to search, but I put my focus and then boom, there it was. So that was kind of cool. That's the sign my mom sends me. Is that right, Kathy? That's wonderful. See, love. Kat thinks my aunt got stage 4 cancer that spread to her. Oh boy. I'm sorry to hear that, Kat, about your aunt. I'm really sorry to hear that. Sending her love, okay? Sending her. I'm sorry to hear that. That can't be easy for the family or her. I'm sorry, honey. Hi, Carmen. How are you, honey? Sending you love. Yeah, Gia just responded. So sorry, honey. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so look for, so that was the little message that Spirit was giving me, that the guys were giving me as I was driving here to the office. So I thought, okay, I'll share. So, all right. So think what you want. Maybe try it. See if it works for you, because it did work for me. I had to look a minute, but then, well, there it was. So that was kind of cute. Okay. So the letter. So not the letter. The story. Monica, get your day straight. Okay. So so I had this woman call me for a reading. She wanted to come see me in person. She lived out of state. She flew in, spent the weekend in Orange County, and she came to my office, and she came with a gentleman. And I didn't know anything about the scenario with either one of them. And so anyway, so they come into my office, and they're holding hands, and they literally look like newlyweds, because they look like they're super in love. They're holding hands, and I'm like, okay, let's see. So they sat down on the couch really close to each other, and their hands in each other's hands in their laps. So I'm like, okay. So I went through the prepping, and I explained to them what to expect, and I did my reading. And I became aware of a gentleman. And I said, I got a gentleman that's stepping in, and I feel it's a father. Would one of you have a father in spirit? And this man said, yes, I have a father in spirit. And I said, okay, please know your father is stepping forward. I said, now your father makes me aware that he's very clever and he's very wise. Would that make sense? He said, yes. And I said, and really good with relationships. I need to say that, really good with relationships. Would you understand that with your dad? Absolutely. And I said, okay, fantastic. I said, because he really makes me aware of him being that way. And as I'm feeling him, I feel like he was really one that guided others. And I feel kind of like he would help others. I feel a little bit like a counselor. Would that make sense? And he says, my father was a marriage counselor. And I said, well, fantastic. So please know he's coming in. Now, he also tells me that he was excellent as a grandpa, that he was really a good grandpa that loved children. Would you understand? And he said, Most definitely. I said, he was the kind of grandpa that would be on the ground rolling around with the kids. He was that playful kind of grandpa, really good with the children. And I said, absolutely, he was like that with all his grandkids and just kids in general. He loved kids. And I said, fantastic. I said, because he makes me aware of that, is he wants to share a little bit about his essence. Now, he's showing me a young child on his lap. It's a little boy, and he looks to be about 4 months old. Do you know a little boy in spirit that is 4 months old? And they looked at me very like in shock and also happy. And they said, yes, our son. Our son is 5 months old. And I said, and your son is in spirit? And they said, yes. And I said, please know he's with your dad. And they come in this way. And I said, now I'm being made aware that your son, that he at 5 months, so sorry, I said 4 months, he was actually 5 months, but it's very similar in age. I said he shows me these curls in his hair. So at 5 months, he must have had some curls because he tells me that you have his curls. And he tells me that his name is up on the wall in the home. Can you accept that? Because that's what I feel. And she says, yes, I have his curls. And his name is up on our wall. And I said, okay, perfect. I said, because he's making me aware of that. Now he tells me, and your dad together, tell me that you gave away a lot of the things that were once his, that you donated them or you gave them away. Would that make sense? And she says, yes. I said, okay. I said, but he tells me that you kept the pajamas that he passed away in, and you kept his blue blanket, his photographs, and a t-shirt with a lion on it. Would that make sense? And they said, yes. And I said, I'm being shown to it as like it's in a box that's on the wall. So it's like a shadow box that would be on the wall because that's how it's being shown to me. Would that make sense? And they said, the mother said, yes. I kept the pajamas that my son passed in. And the t-shirt is a lion. And I created a shadow box and it's on the wall and his name is in it as well. I said, oh, so that's the name on the wall he was speaking of earlier. And I said, well, your son really wants you to know this, you see. Now he tells me also there's a rocking chair that is also still in the home that he used to spend time in. Can you accept that? And they said, and the father said, yes, I was not ready to give that up. And I said, okay, he's aware and he wants you to know, you see. I said, now your son tells me that he has a sibling and he wants you to know that he comes in and plays with your sibling, with his sibling. So you must have another child. And your son in spirit tells me he comes and sits and plays with your sibling. And he plays with a fire truck. Would that make sense? Because he's showing me the alarm that keeps going off. And they said, yes, we have another child at home and he plays with his fire truck and it's always going off, that alarm, that siren is always going off. And we were always trying to get it to stop going off, but it goes off all the time. And I said, please know that's your son playing. And he wants you to know that. And that he sits with your other child and plays. And they're like, wow. And I said, okay. I said, now, I'm being made aware that the two of you broke up. And I feel that you separated or you broke up or something because that's what I'm being made aware of. Now, I'm looking at the two of you here and it doesn't seem logical because you look very much in love. But I have to honor what I'm receiving. And I feel very much that I feel like you broke up or you separated because that's what I feel. Would that make sense? Am I crazy? Am I wrong? This is what I'm feeling from your loved ones. And they said, no, you're right. When we lost our son, the pain was so bad that we didn't know how to handle it. We didn't know how to be together when we were hurting like that. And so we broke up and we separated. And I said, okay. And then I said, your son and your father come forward here today because they want to let you know that in the middle of the night, as you each slept in different homes, they came and they picked up the broken pieces of your heart and began slowly mending your hearts back together. And they want you to know that, your son and your father, the marriage counselor. And they want you to know that. And they make me aware that one morning, one of you called each other and everything was back to normal. And they said, yes, we broke up, we lived in separate homes. And one morning, my husband phoned me. And at that moment, on that day, at that moment, I was ready again. And we've been together ever since. And I said, wonderful. Please know your son on the other side and your father together help bring you back together. And they came today to let you know that. So that is a piece of a reading that I thought was very powerful because I tell you, this couple looked very much in love. And I said to them, I said, they want you to know that they brought you back together. They mended your hearts back. They showed me picking up pieces from the floor and mending them back together. And I said, and by the looks of you, it looks like your son and your dad did an excellent job because you look very happy. And it was very powerful for them, because it was this message from the spirit world to say that those two that they love the most on the other side work together. The grandfather being there with the son. So first of all, to let the parents know that the son was with the grandpa was very meaningful for them. And then to know that together they worked together and that the father was a marriage counselor. And he actually used the skills that he had in life from the other side. And together with the son, they came together and they mended these pieces back together and brought these two back together. I thought it was so unbelievable. I have never, ever experienced any type of message like that before. And it was really something else and very unique. And every reading is a little bit unique, you see. So, everybody kind of gets something different. And so the message really was that the spirit world kind of mended their hearts together. And then the mediumship reading is what healed the heart, you see. So the spirit world mended their hearts together and brought them back together as a couple. And then the reading with the information that the spirit world wanted to give them is what healed their heart. And they left very full. And I have to tell you something, after that reading, my heart was very full as well. And the reading went on. It was an hour session, you see, and I don't even remember all of it. But that particular piece, I thought, it just really stuck in my mind in such a way that, you just don't leave that, it's kind of embedded in you a little bit. And it was just a beautiful reading. And you would never have known this girl and guy that came into my office, this husband and wife, so in love, and to actually have the spirit world come in and say, no, they were broken up, they were separated. And this marriage counselor dad came in and actually put their hearts back together. Incredible, right? I just thought that was so beautiful, and how lovely it was, and how specific in the information that those two together brought forward in the messages for them. It was just really something special, I thought. So I really love that. So I hope you did. Let me see what you guys say about that. What do you think? We all process grief so differently. Knowing that spirit can help us with this is very comforting to me. Thank you, Kathy, because it is, right? Because, sometimes we think that when we lose somebody that, they're gone. And yes, it's different. But there is so much love on the other side still working for you. There is so much. And this little story was really evidence, because when they came in my office, they looked like a happy couple. No way in a million years. I even was surprised. I doubted my evidence that I was getting, because I'm like, there's no way this couple was broken up, because they are like this happy, like they look like newlyweds. And so it was all just how it all pieced together. And then how the dad was a marriage counselor. And it, so know that our loved ones on the other side are always with us, and they're wanting to help us forward and to help us. And I just thought that that was a lovely reading, and I hope it gives you comfort to know. And mind you, every mediumship reading is different, because everyone's needs are different. Loved ones on the other side are different. Your relationships are different. What your heart needs is different than another. So every reading obviously is going to be different. But it was really nice for them to hear that, and it blew me away, because I didn't in a million years see that coming. So, but it was very special. And like the little boy, like the lion T-shirt and the pajamas he passed in, and all the specificness was just so. They were so precise with everything. Again, the grandpa's so clever and so wise and so good with relationships, and a marriage counselor. It was just, see how all this fits together. It was so perfectly engineered from the spirit world. It was definitely a lasting impression of peace for that couple. Absolutely, Carrie, because they got back together, but wasn't quite sure on why all of a sudden it just kind of happened. And for their loved ones to come in and say, no, 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 as you slept every night, we slowly picked up the pieces of the broken hearts and we mended it back together. And then bringing them in for this reading is what kind of put the cherry on top for that, is what actually started healing that heart. It mended, but then it still needed to heal. And maybe some of you too, right? Sometimes when we lose somebody, our hearts feel broken and shattered on the floor. Sorry. Your hearts get shattered on the floor. And it takes time for that to mend, right? So like like the dad said, slowly we started mending that heart back together. So maybe as you start moving forward and you're starting to feel a little bit more yourself again, and you're starting to feel a little bit normal again, and feeling a little bit, maybe your loved ones too are mending your hearts back together again, right? Because this was wonderful evidence for this couple. Um, and so, maybe your loved ones are doing the very same thing. And in time, um, I, I would like for you to maybe think that, because from that reading, it was very clear that that's what was going on. So, Kathy needed to hear that. What comfort. Let's see here. Thank you, honey. Um, let's see. Hi, honey. Carrie, how special, so amazing, how powerful and healing for that couple. Debbie, it really was. It was so powerful and healing, because um, I didn't know who they had on the other side. And I mean, my goodness, they look like they just got married, let alone having two kids and one on the other side. I mean, there was nothing even remotely that was so, everything was just so absolutely engineered perfectly. And I know that that reading gave them the healing that they needed in that heart. And that was that last piece that they needed to kind of move forward with a little bit more. And I felt really privileged to be able to work with that little guy and his dad, and to do that for them. And, it touched me. And I really think that, you know, I really do believe that our loved ones help us. And I feel that they do help us with our grief. I do believe that. And, you know, so maybe just think of that story as you are thinking about your heart a little bit, with maybe a loss that you might have had. So, anyway, hi, Tracy, heartwarming. Yes. Hugs to you and your mom, Bonnie. Thank you, darling. Um, let's see here. Anyway, so I thought that was Sally. Wow, this is so beautiful. Pamela Serpico, so beautiful. Hi, honey. I would love to hear from my son, Vicky. Yes. Um, you know, chills going down my arms, Kat. I hope you enjoyed that faith and prayer. I think that, that's why I just like to share things, and there's a lot that goes on in readings, um, but I just thought that was kind of special. Um, and I think it would give comfort to all of you. And so that's why I wanted to share it. So I hope you guys liked my little short story tonight. And I wanted to call it How a Young Son Brought His Parents Back Together. That's what I wanted to call them, the letter. I mean, the story. But if I did that, then you would know the story. So I had to say loving help from heaven instead. So that you could follow along with the story, not already have a notion of it being a specific somebody coming in. And so that's why I did that. I'm naughty. Okay. So, do you guys have a good day today? I hope you guys all had a beautiful day. Um, Needed to hear that. Thank you. Perfect. Very heartwarming story. Hi, Carmen. Lovely. Perfect. So, okay. So that was my story for today. So just understand that, Spirit really mended their hearts, and it was that mediumship reading that kind of healed it a little bit more. So that's wonderful. So for all of you guys that are coming to my small groups this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, super excited to bring forward your loved ones. I'm excited for that. So we got 3 days of doing that. So that's awesome. And if you guys are wanting to do a private reading with me, you can call me direct in this post. In the post up here, you'll see my phone number. Or if you want to book directly on my website, you can obviously do that by going to book a personal reading. You could do that as well and just book from my calendar. Of course, join me again for another short story when I come back on next week. Okay. So I hope you guys have an amazing evening. And if do you guys have any questions for me at all? Thank you, Monica. Prayers for your mom. Thank you, honey. I'll be in touch soon for a reading. Thanks, Kat. Um, Wonderful. Yeah, we're almost in Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. We're like halfway through November. All right. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for chiming in, and I so appreciate it. And it's always good to just be with you guys in this way. And if there's no questions, then I'll just chime out. But you guys be amazing, okay? And until next time, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.